The transport shuttle descended through the violet atmosphere of Kepler 442b, and Marcus gripped the armrests as turbulence rattled the hull. 3 years he had been searching. 3 years since the distress beacon had led humanity to the edge of explored space, only to find nothing but silence and mystery. The planetary governor had been insistent in her transmission. They had found something, someone, and they needed him specifically. Marcus was a xenolinguist, one of the few humans who had bothered to learn the hundreds of dialects spreading across the galactic community. Most people relied on translation matrices, but Marcus believed in the organic connection that came from truly understanding another species. That philosophy had made him famous among the Coalition worlds, though fame meant little when you spent most of your time alone in a research station. The shuttle touched down at the human colony on the planet's northern continent. The settlement was small, maybe 5,000 souls, all researchers and their families. The architecture was functional, prefabricated structures designed to withstand the planet's seasonal ion storms. Marcus had visited dozens of colonies just like this one. Governor Wells met him at the landing pad. She was a stern woman in her 50s, with gray streaking through her black hair and the weathered look of someone who had spent too many years on frontier worlds. "Thank you for coming, Dr. Hayes," she said, shaking his hand firmly. "I know the transmission was vague, but we couldn't risk broadcasting details." "You said you found refugees," Marcus replied, shouldering his pack. "From the Vale Nebula incident." Wells nodded, her expression grave. "Follow me. It's better if you see for yourself." They walked through the colony's main thoroughfare, past the market district where colonists traded goods and stories. Children played in the streets, their laughter a sharp contrast to the tension radiating from the governor. She led him to the medical center, a larger structure near the colony's edge. Inside, the facility hummed with activity. Nurses and doctors moved between rooms, but Wells guided Marcus past them all to a private wing at the back. 2 armed guards stood outside a sealed door. "We found their ship 3 weeks ago," Wells explained as they approached. It was drifting in high orbit, life support barely functioning. There were 12 survivors. 11 died within the first week, despite our best efforts. Only 2 remain. Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. "What species?" "That's the problem," Wells said quietly. "We don't know. Their biology's unlike anything in the Coalition database. They're humanoid, but their genetic structure is completely foreign. And they won't communicate with anyone. They just sit there, watching, waiting. Waiting for what?" Wells placed her hand on the door's biometric scanner. "We think they were waiting for you." The door slid open with a soft hiss. The room beyond was dimmed, lit only by soft blue panels along the walls. Medical equipment lined one side, monitors displaying vital signs that Marcus didn't recognize. But his attention focused immediately on the 2 figures seated near the far wall. The first was clearly the elder, a woman whose appearance struck Marcus with an almost painful familiarity. She had the basic humanoid structure: 2 arms, 2 legs, a torso and head, but her skin held an opalescent quality that shifted between pale blue and silver in the light. Her eyes were large and dark, with no visible pupil or iris, just depthless black that seemed to contain galaxies. She wore simple gray clothing that hung loosely on her thin frame. Beside her sat a younger version of the same species, a girl who couldn't have been more than 12 in human years. She had the same opalescent skin, the same dark eyes, but where the elder woman's expression was guarded and weary, the girl's face showed unmistakable hope. Marcus stepped into the room, his heart pounding. He had met hundreds of alien species, but something about these 2 felt different, important. The girl's eyes locked onto him, widening with recognition that should have been impossible. She grabbed her companion's arm, her mouth opening in shock. "Mother, she whispered in perfect, unaccented English. It's him. It's him. Marcus froze. The elder woman, the girl's mother apparently, stared at him with an intensity that made him feel transparent. She rose slowly from her chair, her movements graceful despite obvious exhaustion. You came, she said, her voice carrying harmonics that resonated in Marcus's chest. After all this time, you finally came. I don't understand, Marcus said, finding his voice. Have we met? I don't remember. You wouldn't, the mother interrupted. Not yet. Not for you. But for us, we have been waiting lifetimes, generations. The girl stood as well, trembling with emotion. We thought the stories were just legends, that the Wanderer was just a myth our grandmothers told to give us hope. Marcus looked back at Governor Wells, but she appeared just as confused as he felt. He turned back to the aliens, his mind racing through every xenological text he had ever studied, every first contact protocol. I think there's been a misunderstanding, he said carefully. My name is Marcus Hayes. I'm a xenolinguist from Earth. I've never been to the Veil Nebula before. I couldn't have met your people. The mother smiled, and the expression transformed her face from weary to radiant. Not yet, Marcus Hayes of Earth, but you will. You will travel to our homeworld, though it does not exist in your present. You will teach us your language, your customs, your way of seeing the universe. And you will give us something more precious than knowledge. She reached out and took her daughter's hand. You will give us hope in our darkest hour. You will show us that we are not alone, that our destruction is not inevitable. You will become part of our history, woven into our cultural memory so deeply that we teach our children your face from birth. The girl nodded eagerly. Every child learns the story, how the Wanderer came from the stars when the burning consumed our worlds, how you helped us build the ships, decode the warnings, find the path to survival. You taught my great-great-grandmother when she was young, and she passed your lessons down through the generations. Marcus felt the room tilt. Temporal mechanics. Causality loops. He had read about them in theoretical physics journals, but experiencing one was entirely different. How is this possible? He asked. The mother's expression grew sad. Our people possess a gift, or perhaps a curse. We can sense the threads of time, the connections between past and future. When you enter a room, we know you. Not because we have met you in our past, but because we will meet you in our future, which is your past, which has not yet occurred. The ship that brought you here, Marcus said slowly, understanding dawning. You weren't fleeing the Veil Nebula. You were searching for me. Yes, the mother confirmed. The elders sent us forward in time, to the moment when you would be ready to hear our story. We had to warn you, prepare you. In 3 years, by your calendar, you will receive a distress call from our homeworld. You must answer it, Marcus Hayes. Everything depends on you answering it. The girl released her mother's hand and approached Marcus, her dark eyes shining with unshed tears. Please, she said. I know this must seem impossible. I know you have no reason to believe us. But our entire civilization, everyone I have ever loved, everyone who will ever love me, they all exist because you choose to help us. You are the reason I am standing here. Marcus looked at this child who spoke of temporal paradoxes with the casual familiarity of someone discussing the weather. He thought about causality, about free will, about the weight of predestination. If I refuse, he said quietly, what happens? The mother's face remained serene. Then our past changes. We never existed as we were. The memories we carry of your kindness, your sacrifice, they become dreams of what might have been. Perhaps we survive anyway, through some other path. Perhaps we do not. Time is fluid, Marcus Hayes. Nothing is certain except that we are here. Now, because somewhere in your future, you made a choice. Governor Wells stepped forward. Dr. Hayes, you don't have to decide anything right now. These people need medical attention, and you need time to process this. But Marcus was already nodding, a strange calm settling over him. 3 years, you said? The girl smiled through her tears. 3 years, 2 months, and 17 days. The call will come from coordinates we can provide. And Marcus? She reached out and gently touched his hand. Her skin was cool, smooth like polished stone. Thank you. For everything you haven't done yet. For everything you will do. As Marcus left the medical center hours later, his mind churning with impossibilities, he looked up at the violet sky. Somewhere out there, in the Veil Nebula, a civilization waited to be saved by a man they already remembered as their hero. He had 3 years to prepare for a past that hadn't happened yet. And somehow, looking at the stars, Marcus Hayes knew he would answer that call when it came. Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.